Hello loves, welcome to Fifth Dimension. Thank you for joining me for the collective reading today. Specifically today, I wanted to bring in some dragon energy to the collective reading, so I pulled out both dragon decks, as well as, of course, we can't have a dragon reading without an actual dragon. Just kidding. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with some dragons. All right, which dragons want to come through for the collective energy reading? We have 𝙓𝙤𝙓𝙤. Oh, I've not seen that one before. We have Grace. I'm familiar with Grace. If I'm not mistaken, she's a tiny little dragon. We have Gaia. And we have Father Time. I'm getting sort of time shifts, assistance that you were receiving, specifically in regards to what you would consider your purpose. In some cases, you're given assistance in the form of guidance, what seems like little beacons of light that are being shown to you. Because I keep on seeing like these little tea lights, like one by one turning on, and it being like a darkened path, obviously, but one by one a little tea light is being lit for you. And I feel like if there's been any confusion on your part, it's much more than confusion. For some of you, this may even be like feeling to a point of feeling lost off of your path. In some cases, abandoned. That's not the case. I think if you, at some aspect, were having, or like your experience was to have a lot of foresight as to what your steps were in life, what path you were taking, where you were headed. You sort of had like a clear view of at least the next chapter, at least the next 2 chapters, something like that. And then all of a sudden you reached a point where you feel like everything was just taken from you. And you literally only have the page that you are currently reading, which would be essentially the present moment, right? All you have is a page, and I feel like there's a level of conflict, challenge, anxiety. In some cases, I keep on getting the sense that some of you feeling like, I see like a person distraught, like in fetal position, and that tells me that's like extreme agony and sense of, in some cases, loneliness, abandonment, just feeling very lost, right? However, I feel like the reason for all of a sudden things becoming less and less clear to you is because things are shifting. That's why I said shifting timelines in the beginning, because I feel like, how do I describe it? Okay, so these clocks are giving me like, what's the technical term? Like I don't know, like a mechanical, I can't think of the word, but anyways, I see many of them like shifting in different aspects. And I feel like essentially, like, let's say the opening for one of these little thingies is what you view. And so you used to have a broader view more to be able to see, like I said, and now it's like very limited and very singular. And so I feel like that's bringing, or has been bringing up, a lot of all of those things that I had mentioned before. But the reason why is because it's sort of like there's lots of spinning. I can't think of the word. Like, it's like literally at the tip of my tongue. And so a timeline that you may have seen, like a choice, a decision, a pathway that you may have seen as a potential, like there's so many of them. There's so many potentials that are being like brought up and added to the mix that it's shifting. And therefore the reason to close and narrow it down, because it's almost like weeding out. Because now I'm seeing it like it started off this way and there was potentials. And then all of a sudden the gap is getting smaller, but then I also see them rising. Sorry. So then I feel like they're narrowing it down. They're leading you towards something, and I'm not seeing what it is, but I feel like it's where you're meant to be. I feel like it's where you've been wanting to go. I feel like even though it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like a clear path, right? It's not like A to B to C. It just feels much more complex than that, because it feels fluctuating, however that resonates for you. But I can definitely for sure say that you're not alone. I feel a lot of little inner workings, outer workings. And then that gets me to the Gaia, because Gaia gets me feeling to this like wholeness of you like fully in tune, not only with yourself as a body, as the vessel that carries your soul, and having more gratitude and care. And then I heard my body is my temple. But that's also being reflected, because as you tune in to yourself, you are essentially tuning into the energy of Gaia, of Earth, of Mother, of wholesomeness, of love, unconditional love at its core, of the energy of life, right? That's where you're headed. That's where you're going. I feel like your path is big, and there's much to unfold. Whew. All right, let's get into these tarot messages. I'm gonna move this over here, if you don't mind, Dragon. He wants to be in view, so we'll leave him right there. All right. Give me specific messages now. What specific messages does the collective need to hear? Can I just say something? So I don't like, this is literally the second time I've used this dragon deck. Aside from the collaboration I did with Scarlet Serpent. And so I don't normally, which is weird, right? Because I said I was going to start connecting with dragons more, but I don't normally pull out these cards. But I will say that setting the intention to specifically tune in to only the energy of the dragon energy, right? It's given me a sense of comfort. And the reason I'm saying that is in case that's something that you've not done or ever even considered, and maybe like a dragon meditation, or just, I don't know if you have, I don't know how you connect with dragons. Google it. But for me, the way to connect with anything is just to envision it, right? Envision it. Sit with it. Like if I'm sitting with a dragon right in front of me right now, what would its energy feel like? What would the experience be? And in bringing these cards out, I feel like dragons have such extremely stabilizing energy that's just like pulling me directly down, and it just feels like so secure because it feels like dragons have all of the ancient wisdom and knowledge. So there's no way they would steer you wrong. They've seen, they've experienced, they've been there, they've been guardians, they've been protectors, they've been through some shit, right? So, and the watchers, I'm getting the watchers, they are the watchers. So they've seen everything that there is or has or ever will be to be seen. And with that energy, it just feels like the most protected I've felt in a while, I'm just gonna say. All right. So sorry for just babbling, but I felt the need to say that in case there's a part of you that feels, because remember I saw like that fetal position, and it felt like there's like this vulnerability that you may be experiencing where you just feel like floating and alone, and there's nothing to like really like anchor you. This energy is really anchoring me. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Chariot. Okay. So before I get into, because I forgot to mention that originally in the messages I was getting from Father Time is something speeding up. Because remember I saw those dials. Is that what it is? I was going to say knobs, and then I was going to say dials. That may still not be what it's called, but I'm thinking it's a dial. I saw them moving and I could hear them click, click, click. And then all of a sudden, I just heard like a speed up of it. Click, 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 click. Like they were getting faster as time's passing. Which is essentially a theory, right? That time is speeding up. But I don't know. Anyways, we don't need to get into my nonsense. We have the Eight of Cups and the Chariot, which goes from leaving everything that is unfulfilling behind. And I felt that with Grace, because remember I said that there was a lot of like confusion, but attached to a whole bunch of other stuff that feels like sort of like abandonment, right? But being able to move forward. No, this actually looks like Grace. And I was about to say being able to move forward from it with Grace. Literally with Grace. She's right here. She's been there with you. This little cutie is so freaking loving and affectionate and just like pierces your soul with like, I keep wanting to say a bunch of different things. They're all coming. I was going to say a cool something on a hot summer day, but I don't know. It's just like something that's soothing, right? She's so soothing. She's very soothing. She's a warm cup of tea. But she's there with you. She's been with you. Or essentially, it's an energy, right? Okay, I'm not saying like, oh, be on the watch. There's a little dragon afoot. This is an energy, a small soothing energy that is trying to comfort you in those times when you're heavy, and Eight of Cups energy. But Eight of Cups is obviously always seen as like, oh, it's heartbreak, it's having to leave behind. But it's having to leave behind for purpose. It's having to leave behind what no longer serves. It's like, why stay where something isn't benefiting me in any way? It's not uplifting me. It's not fulfilling me. It's not reciprocating to me. It's not allowing me to grow. It's maybe restricting me in some sense. So I feel like the sense of hesitation. But then we have the Chariot. And look, it's funny that it came out underneath because these energies feel similar and these energies feel similar too, because these are the little tea lights that I said because of this. And I have the guidebook right here, but I don't want to pull the guidebook out because, to be honest, I prefer to go on intuition. So I don't know the actuality of what the dragon is, but I will if I feel guided to read specifics. But what I will say is this dragon specifically feels like it's the one that's lighting the way. It's those little signs and synchronicities that are showing you. And I feel like if they haven't already, those little teacup lights are going to be starting to light up faster and faster for you. Whereas before you may have gotten a sign like, oh, I should go this way. And then you would have to sit and wait on that first step for a while before you would clearly see the next little teacup light. This is strongly giving me that they're going to start speeding up. So a less pause period in between. Yeah, things are speeding up for you for sure. And I feel like in a good way. Like, I feel like all this clicking and moving and confusion and narrow sight as to what's in front of you is temporary. And it's actually pretty close to being like cleared. Obviously, this is a collective, so everybody's going to be in different places. Then we have the Six of Cups over here with Gaia. A remembrance. Six of Cups is, okay, so like sixes in general bring the energy of a return, a reunion, anything with the word re, which has the energy of something that comes back, right? Something that I heard reintroduced, something that you're reintroduced to. So in this case, with it being with Gaia, it's like being reintroduced to yourself and your connection to yourself as a vessel, right? Internally and externally, being able to recognize and honor yourself is sort of what I'm getting. This feels freaking amazing, I'm just gonna say, because all of these cards are giving me like same energies. First of all, we had the little like, you know, darkness, the vulnerability, but then I felt like Grace is there to soothe that when you're in that energy. Then we have this little ball of light, and then there's the ball of light right here being indicated in the card underneath it. Then in this one we have Mother Earth Gaia connecting with you, or you connecting with yourself essentially in beautiful unconditional love. And then we have this like little stream of energy being poured, you know, from essentially the ether into the physical. So I'm getting manifestations. Gaia is essentially the earth, right? So earth in the earthly realm, the 3D, the physical, what we actually see in front of us, what is in our every single day life, day to day. I keep on seeing, I saw 1107, then I saw 1117, and right now I just saw 1701. So I'll definitely put that somewhere on the, sorry, I was going to say on the thing, but then I saw the Three of Swords. But we're not going to get into that energy. I just wanted to show it to you because I do feel like the collective is experiencing a lot of what society would call depression. Which essentially is what it is, right? It's depression, but it's a period. It's a period of stillness. And these collective moments come on. It's not just as humans. I feel like with the separatism that we experience as humans, there's like, if people would just talk to each other, we would realize that everybody is experiencing a collective depression right now. But most people, you know, tend to keep it to themselves, and which is, you know, everybody has their own way of expressing that, but collectively experiencing a sense of sadness. But it's for purpose. It creates us to go within and causes us to be still, which is very uncomfortable, right? It's very uncomfortable to be still and in the quiet of your own mind, of your thoughts, of your feelings, of your memories, of your experiences, of your ambitions, of your goals, of your dreams, of all of that. And I feel that it's important to remember that, right? When we're experiencing it, because obviously when we're experiencing it, all we want to do is not experience it anymore. Father time, clarify Father time for the collective. The Eight of Swords. Remember I said this like feeling, well, yeah, it's this feeling of restriction, feeling like there hasn't been, but I'm telling you that there's a lot underlying going on. I'm seeing the vine starting to dissipate and being pulled back away. Let me get one more for that one. Okay, I'm hearing a divine pause. If you felt or if you've had a certain pause, what feels like restriction, what feels like stagnation, what feels like something that hasn't been growing, it's for purpose. There's a reason why you were being put on pause. There's something that you were, I feel like this is a message that we got yesterday. There's something that you were being asked to take a look at before what's next is available to you. Clarify the Eight of Swords, please. I'm like, what the hell? These cards. Nine of Wands. Reclaiming. I heard reclaiming. What does that mean? Reclaiming your power, reclaiming your stance on something, reclaiming in some aspects who you are. Now, the Nine of Wands typically, it can be seen different ways. It can be seen as somebody who's like the energy, not that, it can be the energy of defensiveness. In this case, it feels more like protective, being protective of yourself, your energy, your power. And then it's giving me a mirror to, with the wands in the back. The need to protect your energy. That's a very strong message for you guys right now. If you're in hermit mode right now, or if you feel guided to pull back your energy and protect it, it's important to trust that and do so, specifically with what I saw, because I feel like there's stuff happening, there's things moving, there's things shifting, and you need to be grounded, because signs are going to be given to you, and I don't want to say like opportunities that can miss you, but I think you're in a place of readiness, in a place of, yeah, I'm just going to say you're in a place of readiness for what you're manifesting, for where you're headed, okay? It's going to be different for everybody. But you're in a state of readiness that you're being asked or guided to remove distractions and to be prepared to receive. Be prepared to receive is what I heard. We have the Tower. Those are the shifts. We have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is giving me like an opportunity that you felt had passed you by. I don't know why I'm getting that. An opportunity that you felt that had passed you by that may have caused you, I don't know, like just some negative feelings. Something that you kind of held on to. The opportunity I'm getting, or similar, the energy of that opportunity that you once held a vision for comes back transformed, or is waiting for you transformed, is what I'm getting. It's waiting for you, not comes back. But it's definitely being reintroduced, but in a different state, because the little butterfly is strongly giving me like it's the same, but it's different. Whatever was being left behind absolutely was for purpose. I feel like, again, I have to say there was a lot of hesitation, because whatever it is that you're breaking down, and in some aspects I feel like for you, this is just fear. Breaking down the fear has been something absolutely difficult to do, because you were so enthralled in it. It surrounded you. It came at you from all aspects of life. Things that reminded you to be fearful, to feel unsafe. But the Queen of Wands over here is not the energy of one who's fearful. It's one who's left that fear behind and embraces her strength and her power. Look at her. Does she have anything to fear? Hell no, she doesn't. Actually, the Queen of Wands has been coming out, if I'm not mistaken, at least in the past 3 readings. So this is energy, collective energy, right? Energy that's being embodied in people. I'm hearing holding your ground, embracing your confidence. It's very vibrant, and it connects perfectly with the energy of light, light, light. Let me get any last messages for the collective before I close off the reading. Any advice or guidance? We have the Sun. I'm not going to take these. I want to take one more. The Sun is the one that showed itself, and that's absolute beautiful advice or guidance, because that just means wonderful times. That means abundance. That means potential. The source of all creation will soon be within your wings. You're headed towards the sun, my loves. Yeah. To build, there's so much potential. It's like unlimited potential, but here's the thing. So that's going to be different for anybody. Whatever ideas that you have right now, this is a lot of fiery energy. Fire is creative energy. It's the energy of doing. It's the energy of movement. This is a busy, busy year. Energetically, what I'm getting is just for the collective, right? There's going to be a lot of inspirations and ambitions that you absolutely need to involve yourself in. This is not the year of hesitating and holding back and doubting and fearing and taking actions, because what if I fail, and what if somebody laughs, or what if this, or what if I look blah blah, or what if somebody talks about me, or what if blah blah blah. None of that. None of that. All of that is being burned away so that you're left with nothing but confidence. I'm hearing surety, but I don't know why I keep making up that word. I don't think that's the word, but just like a sense of like feeling very secure in who you are and where you're headed and what you're doing and why you're doing it, without feeling the need to defend anything, because this is you. This is your life. This is where you're headed, and who better than to make those decisions for you, right? This is about not needing validation from anywhere else. All you know you. When you know you, when you honor you, when you respect yourself, when you value yourself, when you honor yourself, when you can trust yourself, nothing can stop you. No one can stop you. You won't be shaken. And it's all full speed ahead, okay? Yeah. The potential. There's unlimited potential for you. This is beautiful, strong, awesome dragon energy. I want to thank you for joining me for today's collective reading. If this or these messages resonated with you, please do me the favor of liking, subscribing, commenting, all of those awesome things. Until we vibe again.